Right. Welcome back to the Coaching Collective podcast. So today we have Dylan Cowen with us from Evolve Fitness Coaching. So I've been working with Dylan for a little over a year now, and we've been following each other for ages before that as well. And he's now moved over to Bangkok, Thailand, and that is where we are today, Bangkok Podcast Studio, which is actually a pretty cool setup. Yeah, so it's nice to see you, man.
Yeah, you too, man. It's crazy that we're here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, times have changed. We were just saying before
Yeah.
how much times have changed in the last 12 months, especially for you, hopefully for all of us soon. But introduce yourself for the listeners and let's go from there.
Yeah, I'm Dylan. So I run Evolve Fitness Coaching. I've been a personal trainer, or was a personal trainer for about 10 years. And then I got on board with Michael to kind of bring back the spark for coaching, and then moved into online space after that. Now I've been doing online only for maybe 12 months, I'd say. Yeah, over 12 months, 18 months. Even.
Yeah.
That's gone pretty fast.
Yeah, it has gone really fast.
Yeah.
It's gone fast, but it still feels like it was ages ago.
Yeah, it seems like it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I went through that transformation and then obviously moved here afterwards. Little bit hard at the start, obviously, transitioning and getting out of the gym because I was there for like 12 hours a day for years.
Yeah.
But yeah, online was what I wanted to do. I think I can help more people that way. And I get a better result as well. So as you know, as a PT, you're not getting much of a result.
Yeah, it's funny because people don't realize that until they realize it. Even like the prospective clients. Yeah, because it's like, oh, if you're hands-on, you're going to get better results. And it's like,
complete opposite, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've helped so many more people and just like, I've kind of found my niche as well. I think like doing PT, I'll just take anyone because I want to help everyone, of course. You get beginners, heaps of beginners, older ladies, old dudes, teenagers. Now I've kind of niched towards performance and fighters and stuff like that. Heaps of high rocks guys now.
Same actually.
Professional high rockers,
Yeah, I've got a few.
Yeah.
I like them because at first I was a little bit like, oh, but they're so hardwired to it.
They go crazy.
Yeah. I would pick a high rocks athlete over like a majority of like bodybuilding-esque athletes, unless you're like a real bodybuilder athlete.
They're very compliant though, I feel like. They're very compliant and they love training.
They
love training. They do like, I got a couple of guys doing like 13 sessions a week.
Yeah.
Like double days every day. Double sessions every day. I'm like, how are you doing that?
The first one I got that was doing that, I was like, oof, like how do you manage this? But then I realized over time, it's like, he just loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think because they love it so much, it's so much easier for us. It's never a chore.
No.
Yeah.
I find I have to feed them a lot though, obviously. And they're always underfed and they have no hydration targets at the start, like no base foundation for anything. Yeah. So it's a very easy fix, which is fun. So
yeah, no, because I definitely find especially when they have like that tandem sort of goal where it's like performance paired with like fat loss, and that's where it becomes incredibly like very difficult. Yeah, because you're it's like a balancing act.
It is. I think after a while it does, but for me, I've got heaps in that boat at the moment. The last maybe 3 months or so, and because they had no foundation, it was very easy to do both at the same time. Yeah, you tweak a few little things, and then like shit, I just got really jacked, and my performance is better in like 2 months. Like you're now drinking enough water, having enough sodium, whereas they had nothing before. So it is hard. I said at the start, I'm like, it's nearly impossible to do both things at once. Not really, but it's hard to get both right.
Without like really clear streams of communication is difficult, and hands-on endeavors. Yeah. Even like cross-referencing, I'm not sure if you have to do this, but you have to obviously cross-reference against the High Rocks programming against how we go about programming. Because
I don't even understand it, bro.
Most of my guys have their own programs for that, and then you're sort of constantly cross-referencing timelines and how they go about things, and that's where it becomes very involved. Because we had an inquiry come through for it yesterday, and like I'm at capacity, but I knew that like that would be a bit much to handle for the others because it's so fresh to them. And obviously coming off the back of a referral, you don't want to have a new coach going through a teething process with the client. Yeah. But interesting little...
Yeah, I didn't expect it really. I didn't expect myself I was so far into bodybuilding at the start. Like I worked at Derrimut and stuff like that. I reckon I watched nearly every pro bodybuilding show from maybe 2015 to 2018. Everything, every amateur show.
You were that into it.
I was so into it.
I didn't know that.
Very, very up like late at night watching like New York Pro and shit like that. I was very into it. And then as I got further into it, I was like, there was not really much money in it. That was the first thing. And then I kind of just saw all the bad side of it going through COVID, I think. Everyone kind of dropped off a little bit. And you saw the mental health issues come out and stuff like that. Yeah. So it kind of pushed me away a bit. But I think there's a good balance. And I think at the moment, a lot of my niche now is like taking people from they wanted to be a bodybuilder to now realizing they don't want to be, but they still want the physique. So I've got a couple of females like that. And just like teaching them like you can still look the part. You don't have to go on stage and compete. You don't have to at all. You can still look exactly like them, and then everyone will come to you at the gym and ask, when are you competing? When are you competing? That's kind of what they want.
Yeah, I know
they
what
want
you
the
mean.
look. They don't really want to get up there, spend all the money, spend thousands of dollars to stand there for 5 minutes. It's like, not for everyone.
I feel like sometimes bodybuilding clients as well, from a business perspective, aren't the best clients to make build a business on either.
Not really.
Yeah, unless you really like get a name for yourself in that space, but that takes
Has your niche, like, are you more bodybuilding style now, as in like majority of clients are...
I wouldn't say majority, but like a large percentage of them, for the ones that I deal with personally, yes. Either bodybuilder clients or people that want to eventually compete. But the problem that I attract with that is people that just train and look relatively good, and they think that that puts them in a position where they should be competing, when it's not really for everyone.
That's what I think, yeah.
Yeah, especially when they take a bit of gear and they think, because I'm on gear, I got to justify this by competing in a show, but like they're just not made for it.
No,
yeah,
not,
yeah, because I don't believe that you need to be competing in order to take gear, but at the same time, a lot of these guys are using more than what competitors are.
That's what I find crazy. Yeah, that's another thing that my niche has moved towards, even kind of enhanced people that have abused for a while.
Yeah,
and they've come to me being like, how have you got all these guys on half the gear that I have?
Yeah,
that I'm taking, and they got a better result. I'm like, we'll come over. There's always gaps, and it's always the training. So it's the nutrition. It's normally the training.
It's always the training. Yeah.
And the training's so simple, dude. Like, how are you fucking it up?
I just feel like there's such a psychological factor to the training and a disciplinary factor to the training.
Yeah.
Obviously with nutrition too. But I remember like even when I was like in my early 20s, there was a big concept around like it's all nutrition and your drugs. You don't need to worry about the training. And I feel like that really got some momentum. But like even now, the more and more bodybuilders I deal with, the bodybuilders who actually progress are the ones who train like exceptionally well and robotically.
Yeah. Same shit every day. Yep.
I make the most progress when I just strictly follow the logbook every single session, where in the past I've always made variations and things like that. But no one wants to think that it's the training. Everyone wants to think that there's something else, because the training makes too much sense almost. Yeah, like it's too simple.
Too simple, yeah. But the training should be simple. That's the point, though. And I think everyone's just made it into something it shouldn't be. It
should be boring too.
40 rep sets and stuff like that. I was saying before, changing the program every 4 weeks.
Oh, so you're saying 40 rep sets?
40 rep sets.
I thought you were saying 40 sets, which is just equally as fucked up.
Well, 40 sets for the session and 40 rep sets.
40 sets for the session. I couldn't even.
I had one yesterday that said, he's actually a client of mine saying that he doesn't follow my training. He's like, I do my own. I'm like, I know, man, but you'd benefit if you followed what I said. Yeah. And he's like, right, I'll send you what I've got. And it's like 4 sets of 10, 4 sets of 10, 4 sets of 10. And I'm like, bro, you've got a plan there. Like, why do you think that it doesn't work? Like, you see everyone I post, you have so many friends that get coached by me, they get great results. Why are you lagging behind? That's why. There's clearly a gap. You don't follow anything that I say.
Yeah, you know what though? I think that it takes a while to put I'm not sure if you've been in this position before, but I never used to follow a program in my younger years of training. And it was such a big thing to have to follow something so religiously, which was so, like, I guess boring, or perceived as boring. But then once you transition to that mentality where you do focus on that repetition and that progressive overload, you can't go back. Yeah, because like I get clients that get coached by me and then they stop for whatever reason, and they come back and they say it's so bad not having like a structured program. I'm like, oh, did you not do your own program during the time? It's like, yeah, but I always got doubtful and I always wanted to change things.
They love to change shit.
That's why we don't coach ourselves.
Yeah,
because I could not coach myself. Like, there is no way.
People are shocked when I say that I have a coach. You're probably the same. And I say my coach has a coach. His coach probably also has had a coach at some point. Everyone's been taught by someone. And it's because it's like not bodybuilding itself, but fitness in general, like improving yourself is like, it's very emotional.
Yeah, it is.
And you can't really do it yourself, to be honest. No matter how much you know, you cannot control your emotions. You will give yourself more food. You give yourself less cardio. Like, it's not really, it's possible, but it's not optimal and efficient. That's for sure.
Yeah, I did what someone raised with me. It was a while ago. I know who it was. I'm just not going to reference them by name. But they said to me, like, even when you coach someone close to you, like a partner or something like that, but you treat it very much like you treat yourself. This was the example, but this is how you treat yourself as well. You either go on the end where you'd feed yourself more and you do less output, so on and so forth, or you'd go the other end and absolutely slaughter yourself. And the example is in the context of a partner, because I remember I was coaching Izzy at the time, and they said, this is what happens, because either they feel really bad for them so they hold back, or they think, this is my partner, I need to get the best out of this, so I'm going to absolutely floor them. So you stop thinking rationally. And then I realized at the time, fuck yeah, I'm actually doing that. Like, I'm actually pushing her. Izzy needs to be pushed, but like, I'm pushing her way too hard.
Yeah, you don't realize it.
And that's what you would do with yourself. Yeah, because like there's even guys who try to micro coach that I coach in preps, usually the guys that don't really understand it. And they'll say, we need to do more, we need to do more, we need to do more. And it's like, well, you're progressing at the perfect rate. It's like, nah, we need to be faster. But like if I let them, they do an hour of cardio a day. Yeah, easily. Or double the lipolytics or whatever it might be.
Everyone's questioning what I guess they see online as well.
Yeah.
You see a lot of, a few TikTok bodybuilders coaches that are going pretty hard with shit at the moment.
Yeah.
And I get all day videos like, what about this? This guy says this guy says this.
Yeah.
I'm like, brother, Sam Pierce, not the smartest guy on the planet. He's a great bodybuilder, but don't send me his shit every day about fertility. And I'm like, that's completely wrong.
Oh yeah, I forgot that he does that every day.
Yeah, he does it every day. Yeah. And again, he's a great bodybuilder. He's probably a decent coach, but everything he says is not true. And it doesn't like, just because he has followers and he's a big dude doesn't mean he knows everything.
Yeah.
He knows a good amount because he's fucking gigantic. I'm sure he does. But some things where I'm like, that is completely backwards. Stop sending me.
Yep.
I'm sure you get it all the time.
Yeah, I get, especially like through some of the more famous TikTok dudes, I get a lot of queries. Like I even had a guy the other day, like Retta's the big one at the moment. Yeah, Retta True Tide.
Yeah,
I think that's how you say it.
Today, like
I was getting a message every day last week, and I actually said to Izzy, is something happened where someone's spoken about this? And she's like, yeah, Nick Walker was posting about it last week. And I'm like, because I've had like 7 people message me about it. And then I had a guy the other week actually say to me, I want to use Retta in my cut. And I said, yeah, we can. This is why I wouldn't. But like, I think Retta's more suited to like a reverse diet.
Me too.
Yeah, rather than all of those agonists, I think they're more suited to a reverse. The main reason, this is just cool for the podcast, but the main reason I don't think Retta's suitable for a cut or a comp prep is because it does induce GI issues. And when you're deep, like 4 weeks out, you do not want GI issues. Yeah, so that was my thing. But anyway, I said to him, like, do you reckon this guy's look is because of the Retta? And I'm like, you need to stop focusing on X, Y, Z drug producing a look and realize he's got that look because he's got good, adequate muscle development. He's lean and he's ticking every other box. Like, no compound's going to drive a look. Like, and I'm sure you've had clients where you can push the conditioning compounds on them, stanozols, your anavars, whatever. They still don't look hard or dry because they just don't have the tissue to begin with, or they're just not lean enough to begin with. You see that in competitors, because I've heard competitors running heaps and they still don't look lean, and it's because their fundamentals are flawed. The drugs don't make up for it.
Yeah, the Ozempic and Hereditary Tide is interesting. Like, I used it at the end of my cut, remember? Yeah, and
you did Ozempic.
Dude, I couldn't even stand at work. I was PTing at the time. Yeah. And I was like laying on the ground behind the desk because I had cramps, like the worst cramps.
Oh, so you got it with Ozempic too?
Cramps. Yeah, because that was actually 0.25, and that was what 12 months ago. So it was like starting to pick up a little bit more. Yeah, there wasn't many people that have tried it. I guess I haven't read about it at the end of a cut. Yeah, so I was like, you know what, I'll try it because I was starving for weeks. I was like, fuck, I am so hungry. Within 24 hours, I had zero hunger. Yeah, also got you that good. On paper, you don't see that. And then everyone that I've given it to kind of halfway through at the end of a cut, if they've requested it, same response. Yeah. Like 24 hours, like, I don't even think about food. It's so weird. Yeah. But it slowed down my digestion so much that I could feel like my shit going through my intestine. Oh, really? It was really weird. Oh, you actually never mentioned that. Yeah. Yeah, you can kind of see it in the stomach. Yeah. And I just had cramps all the time. So I don't understand how people can do like 1-2 milligrams of it. Like, what are you doing? I know Ozempic's better than Retta for like cravings or food fixation. But all I found with Retta, because I did Retta post-show for about 2 weeks, I just wanted to give it a go, and I had it in the fridge because I'd bought it ages ago, and I just never used it because I bought it for the prep, and I sort of halfway through prep, I'm like, no, I don't need it. Like, I'll make it through, and I did fine. But my stomach just always felt heavy. Like, it's almost just always felt the lower stomach was holding weight. Yeah. And at the start, I just thought it's because I'm eating a bit of shit. And I'm introducing new food groups. And then after about maybe on the 3rd week of it, I'm like, I think it's a Retta. And also it was making me full, but like I still wanted to keep eating because I'm not eating post show because I'm hungry. I'm eating because I wanted to fucking eat. Yeah. So I just cut it out. And I must admit, when I got here, it's probably when it started to taper out of the system and I was like, fuck, I'm starving all the time. Interesting. But now it's settled. I noticed it was a massive effect. Like nothing I've ever taken, I've noticed within 24 hours. Yeah. And I used to walk in the same, like, I'd be at Snap and then I'd go to like Coles and I get the same thing every day, like a protein shake and a banana. Yeah. And then that next day I went in and I like stood there like, what am I getting? Oh, really? And I'm like, fuck, that's weird. Yeah. I just completely turned off my brain from food. Yeah. So it works. It works really well. Yeah, it works really well. But I think, again, it shouldn't be used until you need it. Yeah. And then the first thing I say when someone asks about it, I'm like, it's going to fuck your stomach. Yeah. It punishes you as well. If you eat like bad food, it will punish you. If you have a pizza on Ozempic, you'll either shit yourself or you won't shit for like a week.
Yeah, no,
it's bad. Yeah,
because I think with the rotor I was going like 6 times a day.
Yeah,
and that was literally 0.5 milligrams twice a week.
That's crazy. Yeah.
For like, I reckon I did 5 shots. Yeah,
Fuck, it's crazy. Yeah, it's so strong.
Yeah, and like it helped. No, it didn't.
It's created problems.
No,
I think it creates problems for people more than anything. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. And also in the context of a comp prep, like I don't like the idea of people using it in comp prep because you should be able to embrace that.
That's what you're there for.
Yeah, but post I get it because the reins are off, the fixation's not there. You're not as goal orientated. The fixation is there. You're not as goal orientated, etc. And if it's going to make that transition easier, because post show is difficult,
I think
especially for a first timer. Yeah. But then at the same time, again, if rudder's not going to blunt that food noise, it's the food noise. It's not that you're hungry. Yeah, like you know, when you finish a deficit and you go out for a meal, you're not eating at the end of the night because you're fucking hungry. You're eating because you just want to eat. Yeah, and because you like fucking food.
Yeah, Ozempic has been used in like addiction treatment as well.
Yeah,
so it's like
massive. I've heard that. Yeah,
alcoholics, drug addicts, anything.
Yeah.
And I noticed straight away it was like it switches off something in the brain.
Yeah,
like why do I feel different? It was like even one of my old boss said the same thing. She was like, as soon as I took it, everything was quiet.
Yeah,
and I noticed the same. Then I was like, did I just realize that I was addicted to food or something for my whole life?
Yeah,
and just flicked the switch off, and everything's just quiet. I'm like walking around like, well, there's nothing in my brain. Don't know why.
I do feel like though the people who do overconsume and do have problems with food, it is very similar tendencies to what an addict is.
Yes.
Yeah, like to especially someone who's like obese. And I feel like that's not really spoken about. Yeah, solely because it's such a touchy topic. To talk to someone about their eating behaviors and talk to someone about their weight problems and things like that might have been a little bit more, or would have been easy to talk about probably 20 years ago. But you, like people generally, like I'm sure you see this in clients and I see this in ex-clients and they progress really, really well and then they relapse to what they were and eating and using food for comfort, so on and so forth. And I've seen that, and I've even seen situations where like them falling back into bad eating patterns leading to other addictive behaviors, whether it be drugs, alcohol, so on and so forth. It's quite disappointing when you see that.
It's hard to stop, I feel like. I've had some amazing clients, had a few come back this week, and like my best transformations ever, and the rebound was just nasty. They could not stick to anything. And I'm like, I don't know if I haven't done anything wrong. Like I'm trying to work out what could I have done better to make that not happen. And I can't find anything. I'm like, you just sometimes can't help it. And they just go and they won't check in. They'll still pay you. And it's embarrassed that they've gained 20 kilos suddenly. Actually, one I'll bring up, I won't mention his name. He will know if he listens. But I have a like Islander client, nice dude, super nice. We lost maybe, I don't know, 15 kilos across 8 or so weeks. And then you had a family event happen. Someone passed away. He gained 28 kilos in like 10 days. I've never seen anything like it.
I've never seen anything like that.
And he didn't say anything. And then I was like, hey man, like what's going on? And he's like, man, I just got to tell you, I'm like 130 kilos. I'm like, what the fuck? I think it was like 28 or something.
You got to be binging.
And then I asked him the other day because I saw him at an event. I was like, what were you eating? I was like, were you eating just cheesecakes? He's like, yeah.
Oh, really?
Straight cheesecakes. I'm like, what was so dense that you could have eaten like 28 kilos worth of even food itself in that time and then somehow gain that? And then I did a FaceTime with him to chat about it.
Yeah.
He didn't even look like the same person.
Yeah.
And I was so shocked.
Because your face immensely changes.
Massively, yeah. And that was like, to me, I realized that time I was like, fuck, I'm not exactly qualified to help with that.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do really. Like, how do you stop that? Because it's just an emotional thing. It's fully emotional. He even admitted he's like, I don't know how it happened. Like, some shit happens in my life. Same as with me. Things happen in my life and everything else goes to shit. My business is priority. My health is like the bottom. He was the same, I think. It was like, I will work and that's it.
Yeah, even when someone's in that position as well, and if you were to try to re-establish like that lower body weight, the ability to diet is
very hard, terrible,
just because the adaptations which have occurred across that deficit as well, whether that be like on a physiological level or even just hunger signaling becomes absurd. And that's why even like post-show, post-dieting phase, you do want to emphasize the point that like you don't want to have to go back into a deficit because they're just not going to get what they need out of it. And even if they do respond to the deficit, like the chance of them being diligent across a 7-day window after like 15 weeks of dieting, like it's like even now, if you told me to go back to a deficit 9 weeks post-show and have to sit in it, I don't think I could.
Hard,
I'd be very, very surprised. And I'm up 20 kilos. So
really 20.
Wow,
no shit.
Hold it together all right for 20 kilos. Yeah, Joe freaks out a bit when he sees the photos. He's like, I don't know where the fuck 20 kilos is. and I'm like, maybe it's in my ass. Yeah,
that's pretty crazy actually, because you weren't like think about like 12 months ago. You look nothing like this either.
No, 12 months ago, I was pretty fat at the same weight.
Yeah.
Most of it's gone to my legs. I reckon I lost a lot of size on my legs throughout the prep.
Okay, really? Yeah.
Yeah, they sort of. I wasn't training them very well. It's men's physique.
Yeah. You just need a bit of quad, I guess.
Yeah, because even like now, I said to you before, I put these shorts on and I'm like, they're tight on my quads. But in prep, they were like baggy. Yeah, and I like that they were baggy because I like my comfortable going out shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now they're like fucking denim tight shorts almost. Yeah.
Do you notice the new gym helps with legs?
Yes.
Great equipment,
Yeah, the only thing is that the Gym Leco hack squat's a bit of a knee buster. Yeah,
same as that pendulum. I feel like is pretty.
I haven't used it. I'm gonna have to swap from the hack squat though.
Oh really?
I'm not too. Yes, I love it. But yesterday I started getting a little bit of a pain in the patella, and I was a little bit like, I used to get this.
I did too.
Yeah, but I haven't done a squat pattern until this block in like 12 months, more than 12 months. Because since I started working with Joe, I think was when we removed squat patterns for leg pressing because I had knee issues at the time and I just never brought them back in. And because legs weren't a priority. Plus legs, not as good as yours, but they're genetically like they're superior. So like I don't need to pump them for them to grow or maintain. Like even with prep, I reckon they only went away in the last 4 weeks, and that would have just come down to like training like a bitch.
Do you like the leg extension there? The
old one, yeah.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's so deep. Yeah.
It looks so dodgy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a lot of pieces of equipment that look dodgy, and I like how that gym's kind of very interactive with the member base.
Yeah.
They just like, they ask us what we want. Like,
because I noticed a few signs on the old pieces. I do like that gym.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's always
far for me, but
Yeah, Tess was saying that.
Yeah, that we're like, I don't know where I should go and train.
Yeah.
Maybe half there, half closer.
What have you got closer though?
Virgin Active or Muscle Factory.
Muscle Factory would be okay.
Bit of both, yeah.
Yeah, because we tried to deliberately stay near the gym because we're okay. We just walk.
It's a very good gym.
Yeah, it's hard to get like nice gyms in Asia. Yeah, because even like Bali, like none of them are.
You realize how bad Bali is when you come here.
Yeah, you do.
You're like, fuck, what is?
I know.
I don't know how Rick lives there. I asked him that last time. Like,
I think the same because I asked him yesterday when he moving back here because like we might think about it, and he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna do Bali still." And I'm thinking, really?
How?
Yeah, I didn't say anything to him
because he's not. He doesn't really suit them like either. He doesn't suit that.
Yeah, it's a chill.
He loves it.
It's chill. I think being beachfront and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's very like nothing really feels like put together there.
Yeah,
so it feels super relaxing. Where here it's still a little bit chaos, little bit of chaos. You got to like the chaos. I say to everyone with Bangkok, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. Like there's no in between. Because I reckon people would come here and I'd say how much I love it, and then they'd probably be like, "How do you love this?"
You got to spend time here, I think, and you realize that it looks stressful. It's not.
Yeah,
you just relax,
and everyone minds their own business. Yeah, I think that's the best part about it.
It's very interesting how everyone minds their own business. Though.
Yeah, I know.
We don't have that.
Yeah, we do not, do we? Yeah. I think maybe that could just be where we live. We don't really live in the same area.
Well, I went back and I was like, everyone's so rude in Australia.
Yeah, I know.
Like, why? And the cafe thing, you mentioned that maybe last year as well. If you go to work in a cafe in Australia, they're like looking at me like, when are you going to buy something else? I'm like,
yes, I know. Yeah.
I'm like, no one's here.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's actually good for business, me being here, sitting here working, because I'll see someone's in there.
Yeah,
why are you trying to kick me out?
Yeah, unless it's full.
Yeah, it's not full.
Yeah, because I go to a cafe in Thornbury and I used to say to them, I don't say it anymore, but I always take the big table and I just say if a group comes in, you need the table, just tell me that you need the table. But never happens. But they don't give a fuck. But that's the only place I've probably ever gone to, or at least recently, where like I can just sit there for like 5 hours but I know the owners.
Like,
yeah.
But I just find that weird because here's the opposite. They'll like invite you in and be like, sit down, here's the Wi-Fi.
But Bali's like that too.
Yeah.
Bali's actually really good for working because you can work everywhere because everyone does it. Here I've had a little bit more trouble finding somewhere that I'm super comfortable, but I'm very particular with how I work too.
Me too.
Yeah, I need to be like comfortable. Need a nice chair like this one.
Hard to find there was good co-working spaces in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Like you just go there, pay, you got a private booth.
Yeah.
They don't have that here.
Except when you pay for working spaces, they're usually expensive.
Very.
Yeah. Everyone hammers me about my chair that I have at home because they always see in my check-in photos. The reason it's still there is I know it's fucked. I know I need a new one. It's because it's so comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm just used to it. But I definitely need to get rid of that because I need to vacuum up the foam every second day. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah. The amount of people when I post the first check-in photos, like sending me the photo back saying, I'll buy you a new chair, mate, if you want. My broker messaged me saying, do I charge you too much? You can't afford a new chair. And then he started linking me all these, what is it, Secret Lab?
Oh, yeah, they're sick.
Yeah.
I was going to get one here, actually.
Yeah.
I got like an ergonomic chair here. Not very good, though.
Yeah.
Spent a good amount and I'm not happy.
Yeah, but some of the stuff's pretty cheap here.
It's very
IKEA,
good.
yeah.
IKEA is very good. I got a monitor, like a 32-inch curve monitor, quite cheap.
Yeah, because I even said to Izzy, while we're here, we should just bought one at the start and even just leave it at the end or even just give it to you.
You got to, when you do come here, it doesn't take long to set up. You get an apartment, it's like so fast.
Yeah.
You buy a few things and they're all furnished.
Yeah, they always furnished here, yeah.
And like you literally barely need to apply. They'll take you around and say, all right, do you have money? Yep, you got money. Here's the deposit. It's the keys the next week or tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's so easy. You can do it from Australia as well.
Yeah.
So no issues.
Just then you risk that the apartment will suck.
Yeah, but you just get a video. Mine was brand new. I had
I know.
plastic on it.
Plastic on it, I remember.
I'm fucking peeling the plastic off everything. Nice apartment. Little too small. I think maybe in a couple of months I might go bigger.
Yeah.
But I have like a nice setup, desk setup and everything. Perfect, It's big enough for me, I guess.
Yeah, and there's something about having a nice little setup in like a chaos city or even just like in anywhere that's not home. Yeah, or not Australia. Yeah, because I always thought like having a cool setup in like Bali would be awesome even. Yeah. But I can't see myself going back to Bali now, to be honest.
I don't think I could either.
Yeah. It's easy.
I want to see some other Asian countries that I haven't been. Like I want to go to China.
Yeah, I've wanted to do China as well.
But we can't work. WhatsApp is banned, I think.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Pretty sure,
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so I want to go there for UFC event.
Oh, well, fuck China
have
then.
to take the weekend off. I don't know if I'll go.
You could do a VPN if you get caught.
And even just like everything. Taking your phone there. It's like, I don't know if you take your phone there.
I had a client that was visiting China a while ago and he was still messaging me.
On WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Might have been a VPN.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because he was there a month as well. Yeah, now that I think about it. Yeah.
There's a few places around here I want to visit.
Vietnam.
I've been to Vietnam. I like it. I like here more. It's very easy to work in Vietnam too.
Yeah, it's cheap nice. Apparently too.
Very cheap.
Yeah, apparently it's like one of the cheapest places to live. Yeah.
It was very, very cheap.
Yeah. Should we get back to our run sheet?
Yes.
All right, what did I have here?
That's why.
Okay. Well, where do we want to start here? Current coaches and the issues in the coaching space.
Oh, God.
Would you want to start there? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I guess we could.
Well, we were talking about the 40 set concept before. I've seen ones where it's like 5 sets of hip thrusts, 5 sets of glute kickbacks, 5 sets of RDLs.
Oh, actually,
in well-known coaches. And I'm not talking, there's a difference because there's like well-known coaches who are like, you know that there's flaws, but then there's well-known coaches who you would think would do better. And the amount of times I've had programs come from coaches who I think would be better than they are, and then I see it and I just think, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, what is going on?
Yeah, and like the reality is out of like, you can get results a heap of different ways in different clients. So it's not like that's not going to work, but is it optimal? And is a client going to enjoy it, recover from it, etc.? No. Yeah, and I remember like I had programming from a previous coach who was giving me like 20 to 22 working sets a session. Probably worked and it was fine, but I hated every session. And every session I cut it short. And I think one of the reasons I've made so much more progression in the past like 15 months compared to previous to that is just because the programming is aligned with what is practical for me. And as a result, I adhere to it. There's no way I would adhere to 5 sets of RDLs. I can't even do one. I fucking hate RDLs.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And also the program has to make sense for you. You have to enjoy it. Like exercise selection should be pretty enjoyable. But it should be a collaboration between client and coach, I think.
I agree.
Like massively. Like, it has to be.
I got an idea I got off Phil Naselli, you know Phil, was he would send his clients like a spreadsheet to fill out when there was time for a new program, just going over what they enjoy, what they don't enjoy, etc. So for the clients that I know that are quite particular with their training, I send them that when there's a new program. And then at least you know there's going to be no kickback at all. Because I'm not sure if you realize this, but the number one thing you get kickback about with clients is when you give them a program that they don't like. Yeah, like you can do anything else, but if you give them a program they don't like, or you put in an exercise which they may have previously communicated, I can't do this exercise. That's like one of the number one reasons I see like genuine issues arise between you and a client. And like, you put in, let's just say a client can't do an RDL, you plug in an RDL, you're coaching X amount of clients, you're on the 4th program with the client, you're going to sometimes fuck up and forget, especially when you're in that flow where you're like, oh yeah, RDL, good, drag that in. Like, and
it's hard to get everything right. And I always say that. I actually give that disclaimer at the start in the welcome video. I say, if I've missed anything or if there's something in that's wrong, it's not me being a dick. I've probably genuinely missed it.
Yeah, I always say it in the check-ins as well. At the end of the check-in, I'll always say, if I've missed anything or didn't answer something, just let me know.
Because when you do a good amount of it, you can't be, like, we do back-to-back. I do back-to-back like 10 plus check-ins in a row most of the time.
Yeah.
So there's going to be something I miss maybe, but I try and hit everything. I think most of the time I do.
Yeah.
But I always mention it. Yeah. If I've missed anything, send me a message. If this is wrong, send me a message.
Yeah, I think that's important as well.
And even with our app at the moment, sometimes I'll change things and there'll be like a random note in like a meal, and the client will be like, "Why have you got like oats, an oats recipe under like a burger?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Bro, it's not me." Like I didn't. Yeah.
I had a guy the other day say to me, "Hey man, it's saying on my app that this exercise is per low row it says per the previous program that I gave you." And then I said, "Oh, sorry, man. It might have been from the master template." Like, and I logged into, and I'm thinking, "No, that can't be the master template." I logged into mine, and it wasn't that. And they said, "Hey, man, could you send me a screenshot of that?" He sent me a screenshot, and it literally said that on his thing. And I said, "On mine, it's coming up with the template note, like to tell you how to execute it." And I'm just thinking, fuck it. He probably saw that and thought, this guy's copy pasting my fucking program.
Yeah, I think it happens a lot. Yeah.
And but it's easy to make those mistakes anyway, because obviously you have so many exercises, so many programs sitting around. You don't do every single program from scratch. Yeah. It's like, okay, cool, this is where I want to start fundamentally, and then you start moving across with that. But most people understand that. But if you get like a beginner who hasn't had a coach before, they're going to see that and think, this guy's fucking copy pasted me. Yeah. Because I used to do every program from scratch, and then I realized, number one, it's a waste of time. Number two, when I would have a template to start with, I'm saving myself 15 minutes, which can be put into making that program better. Yeah. And obviously, if you've coached many people as we have, like I think I got 300 programs in the library.
Yeah,
I reckon I got more than 300. Yeah, across all 4 of us.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, there'd be like maybe even 1,000 there.
Yeah. And then sometimes you like use a template from like an older program, and you're like, what the fuck was I doing?
Yeah, I know.
Like, why did I have that in a while?
Yeah. Oh man, some of the old ones I look at them and I'm like, oh, I used to be huge on top and back offsets.
Yeah,
and I'm not really like that anymore.
Well. Yeah, you just do 1 or 2 working sets.
Yeah, I just find I just do the straight working sets, because I just find it's quite hard to gauge what to put as that back off weight for most people. I'm not saying it's a better way to go about it. Yeah, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I go straight sets now. I think over time, I think everyone's kind of evolved from. I started high volume.
Yeah,
like drop set, set. And again, like you said before, it works. But then, how much time was I spending in the gym?
Yeah,
like 2 hours. I had these massive legs. Everyone's like, "How do you have big legs?" I'm like, "Well, I train them for 2 hours twice a week, probably."
Yeah.
But now I'm like very low volume.
Yeah,
the good old days. Yeah. And I don't know. I think about it now. I'm like, how did I have the time?
Yeah.
I was like training 2 hours a day. I'm like, what the fuck? But now I'm like, for most people, very very low volume, if they let me.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's me trying to convince them that they need less. And I'm like, just trust me, try it for a bit. Everyone loves it when they do it properly.
If I say to people when they ask more volume, if the answer was more volume, we would just train and be a high level bodybuilder. It's just not how it works.
No.
The progress. I know it sounds fucking boring, but the progressive overload, the accretion of strength from session to session, that's your priority, and low volume is going to complement that more than what high volume is going to. And like even I think I said to you before, like my body's thrashed at the moment on the low volume. Imagine how frequently that would happen on a high volume setup, or you just feel like shit all the time.
Yeah, I just can't perform. I feel like at all. Like I just don't understand how. Like I was saying before, the 40 rep sets, 4 sets of 40, 3 sets of 40. I had the same person come to me and say, "Oh, my leg day has seated leg curl, standing leg curl, lying leg curl, back to back as the warm up." And I'm like, "How are you doing three leg curls, and then you're going into like an RDL, then you're going to do hip thrust?" Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and
but it's just like just fill it with fluff, I guess. And again, the changing the program every 4 weeks thing. I get that a lot.
Oh, I get clients
come from other. I'm like, fuck, man. If I changed it, I'd be doing you a disservice.
Yeah, like, they come from other coaches. Like my old coach used to change it every 8 weeks, and it's like, why? Why? Some people just want the value, but I didn't really get that anymore. Like I make it very clear at the start.
From the coach perspective, though, it's literally so they're showing that they're doing something. But then they're actually making them progress less. Yeah. Because they're changing every fucking 4 to 8 weeks. It doesn't make sense to me at all.
Yeah, I
get it.
Yeah. I had a guy come back to me this week, and he even said, like, just on the topic of coaches, like, oh, it's good to have communication, which is verbal, rather than just a message. Yeah. And I realized, people still do that. I do that like with some prep clients towards the end, but it's just more because I'm making changes so regularly, and also because I want them to be able to consume the information rapidly. Yeah. Because you got to think, if you're sending them a 10-minute loom, it's probably 80% of it's going over their head.
Yeah, especially if they're tired and dieted,
Yeah, because in peak weeks, I started doing just written notes, like or from 2 weeks out from the show, whenever we moved to like daily or every second day check-in. And I just found this is so much better for me too, because you just have more time to think. Yeah, and you can review everything rather than just talking and then be like, oh, actually, and then you sort of confuse the person.
It's interesting though that people say that they like the communication, because how bad must the other coach's communication be?
Yeah, I always wonder, because sometimes I get slower on replies. And like people still, like one of the girls last week, because I put in a little review section in my check-ins, and she scored the communication a 5. And I did say, oh, I actually probably am a little bit slow with her, because she messed me at weird times because she's a trainer. And I said to her, hey, like just following up on that, like what can I do better? And she was like, oh, fuck, nah, sorry, I didn't even read it. I don't know why I put 5. She's like, yeah, I'm happy with everything. Your communication's perfect. Yeah, nice. It's like so much better than other coaches. And I thought, fuck, your other coach must have been pretty bad.
I just don't get it though, because like, if you're coaching, like you coach good at my clients, I do as well. I've still got spare time in the day.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
I always think that too. Yes.
Because I don't post social media really much, but like they might be posting a little bit more. But what are you feeling that like 10 hours at least that you should be probably replying?
If I didn't have to manage the business, like I'd have so much spare time.
Yeah, you would.
Not so much spare time, but I work like a normal person hours. Yeah. So I do wonder what these guys do with all the time, especially considering they're probably coaching less than half of the people that we are.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah,
literally.
No, I've always thought that. Because like a lot of my, like that extra 2-3 hours, which makes it a long day, is always like admin. Yeah, like whether it be like delegating tasks to the boys or to Izzy, or following up like just like people that we've outsourced to, or liaising with the assistant, whatever it might be. That's the shit that makes it a big job.
I haven't got to that yet, so I'm still... Yeah, even like...
I'm sure you still do back end.
Yeah. I'm about like 60 to 70% at my capacity, I'd say, in terms of like everything. I could still nearly double it probably.
I noticed in prep I reached a point where I'm like, I could definitely keep going with workload, but now I've sort of like...
No, you were wild in prep, I feel like.
In prep, man, I was so dialed in. Yeah. And I remember thinking to myself at the end of prep, man, if I'm like this now, post-prep I want to be a machine. And then I came out of prep and I'm like, fuck, it's not the same.
Nah, it's
even waking up.
Yeah, you had no drive, I guess, after. Like, what are you doing? What's the goal?
I used to wake up at 3:30. I'd be so keen to get to my computer. So I get to the computer at like 4 and I just start. Yeah. And I would just chew through work. Now, like 5:30 alarm goes off. I'm like, oh, like I got to wake up now. Snooze, 10 more minutes.
I was like that in my car as well. I was like waking up early, walking in the freezing cold around the oval near my house, replying to voice messages like flat out, 5 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, it's interesting. It's just that structure and routine, I guess. So drive.
I do. I loved that in prep, and that first 3 hours of the day was so relaxing. Yeah,
no one's replying.
No, it was great. And not the funny thing, but if I got a stressful message of the night or something that I need to be attended to, I'd always reply to it first thing in the morning when I woke up, because I knew that I wouldn't need to deal with it for another 3-4 hours. If I replied to them at the night, I'd have to deal with it then.
Yeah, true.
The little things, nothing bad, but just more thought invasive things. I'll say. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the late night messages from people. You always get the weird clients at night and just spam you.
I try to ignore when they message at night.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I always go through like and just check if there's anything important, but certain names pop up and I'm like, I'm not going to check that till the morning. Yeah. And then obviously being on the time difference here, it's a little bit harder because then you're not getting back to them till like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. their time. But it's at the end of the day though, like our clients are conditioned to they're conditioned to like us being on a relevant time zone, because like I've always had coaches that are international and it's never been an issue for me. Because even like when I ask a question, it's not like I need an answer today.
No. Yeah. Not many do need the answers straight away.
And even in fairness, when I ask Joe questions, it's not questions that I don't know the answer to. It's more like I just like to get another perspective, and it's like, and I'm paying him to give me that perspective. And sometimes he gives me an answer and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly how I would have answered it. And sometimes he gives me an answer and I'm like, oh, that's something new to chuck in there.
Perspective, yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of coaches are scared though. Like I have a lot of coaches that kind of message me and ask for help a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, jump on a call. I will tell you so much. Like, I will teach you anything you want. Like good friends of mine from back in the day and stuff like that. Not many people want to reach out. And I think that's a massive thing where coaches need to improve on, is like ask for help, because I don't know everything. You don't know everything.
Yeah, I know.
Like, and we know that. We completely understand that. But then new coaches are like, I know absolutely everything. I'm the best. And they got 10 clients. And you're like, that is why.
It's always the new coaches that are like that. Because even I was like that when I was fresh.
Yeah, me too.
I thought I knew everything. Like if you go back like even like 12 to 18 months for me, I was like, I know everything there is to do with comp prep coaching. Like I can nail it. And then as I went on, I sort of realized, fuck, there's so much more to learn. And then completing my most recent prep, I'm like, oh, like I definitely could have been doing things a lot better. Probably more from an assisted client point of view. You also don't realize until you really get in the know with it, like for an assisted athletes competing, the boundaries they cross. Yeah, because when I say I didn't cross boundaries in the context of like load of dosages, but there was things that I did that I wasn't expecting to deploy. Does that make sense? Like diuretics. Yeah, like I remember when he first suggested it and how he went about it, I was a bit like, I'm doing that. And now it's like, fuck, I would never not do that with someone. Yeah. I know it sounds ridiculous, but like it just works so well. And it was so seamless. Like it didn't really present any issues.
That's also because he's a very experienced coach as well.
Yeah.
And you trust him too.
Yeah, I think having that trust in your coach is very important, especially in a comp prep. Yeah, because that keeps you level as well. Because like one of the biggest things that I've like advocated in the last 6 months is like how important stress is in the context of just achieving results. I've never heard a highly strung individual achieve like great results, but like there's a degree of stress, and this also comes down to how well someone can actually handle stress. Because I handle stress really well most of the time. So for me, I thrive under pressure, and other people they just go systemic and they're fucked. So if you can't keep that relaxed environment and you can't keep a well-structured environment, like I don't think competing is for you. I don't even think fat loss is for you. Yeah, depending on fat loss. When I say fat loss to get into like a healthy rate range, but fat loss to get like lean.
It's still hard, I think. I say this a lot. I've said this a couple of times in the last few weeks, but the only people that have trouble losing fat with is the ones that are really stressed at home or work night shift. And I'm like, how the fuck do you get around that? It's so hard. It's hard to minimize stress when their whole lifestyle is built around stress.
I remember, was it Ben Kant or Eugene Teo? It was one of the early guys that I worked with. And then we had a seminar and someone asked them, what's the best way to deal with a night shift worker? And they said, ask them to quit their job.
Literally, I have no, like I struggle so much. I got a good amount of them, nurses and stuff like that. And I try everything. And I'm like, I can't think of it. If we look at everything, and like our job is to problem solve and find gaps. I'm like, there's no gaps here. The only gap is that you sleep at a different time every day and your body's like, why the fuck am I awake at this time? And you're pissing overnight when you're sleeping overnight and you're hungry overnight when you're sleeping overnight. It's a disaster.
I've never done shift work, thank God.
I did it at Derrimut for 3 or 4 years.
Oh, did you?
That's why I lost my hair, bro. I had a full head of hair.
I can't even imagine you with hair.
Dude, I had a full like mullet nearly, and then I worked night shift and got really stressed and then lost it all. It ruined my life. It was really bad.
There's heaps of studies on night shift as well in regards to the impact it has. Like even on hormone profiles, it's like atrocious.
That's what happened to me. I ended up on TRT at like 22 years old because of that. Might not have been exactly just that, but a combination of things.
Combination of everything.
I had cortisol. My cortisol was over 1,000.
Okay.
Multiple times. I thought I had Cushing syndrome and all this other shit.
I didn't know if I've run my cortisol before.
Really? Yeah. Most people, I run it because I'm like, I've seen mine at 1,000 and I was like destroyed. No one really seems to have high cortisol.
No, 1,000 is ridiculous.
And they do all these tests and stuff like that. And I had, who knows, but very stressful time. But I couldn't get lean. I was like trying everything. I'm like, why am I skinny fat? Like, what the fuck is going on? And then I had low tests, high cortisol, all these other things and issues. But it sucks, like, because you can't just leave the job.
No, you can't.
What do you do?
I don't know, like that advice that I gave before, like it's not obviously practical advice, but you get the point of like, basically it's pretty hard to optimize anything in that circumstance. But like people work night shift, particularly in Australia, I think, because it's so hard to make a living and you get the penalty rates. So, because a lot of people that work night shifts, they're not great jobs. It's just like warehousing or something simple.
You're getting paid a stupid amount.
Yes, and like they wouldn't be able to survive on just normal hours, which is pretty common in Australia. Because you're pretty much paying. The boys that I've met here have been saying that's pretty common when you deal with Australians because they obviously have more clients from overseas, so they very much live paycheck to paycheck. And you don't realize that until someone says it.
Most people do, and even me, like doing PT for a long time, I was like just making enough, a little bit over, and now I'm like, oh shit, like what do I do with the money? What's happened?
Well, the only thing people I think save for back in Australia is probably for their home.
And I don't really want one. There's
no real point in owning your home, in my view.
Not anymore.
Maybe if you want to raise a family, I think it's nice to have a stable environment. Would you raise a family here?
I don't know. It'd be possible, but it'd be very hard. I think you notice a lot of people at the international school
Yeah,
Like,
I
there's
also noticed a
Singapore
lot of
culture.
nannies looking after like white kids.
Yeah, really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think if someone moves here for business, you can, and you can.
Yeah,
But the socialization of the kids is hard.
that's the hardest part.
I think that's the hard part, and also it's just so different here. Like, you've got just weird shit happening all the time.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to yeah. I think it is a little bit hard.
Yeah,
but it's cheap.
Yeah, it would depend. Like I know people raise families in Bali, which I find super
That'd be hard.
strange.
This would be easier than Bali. I think. Yeah.
Bali's so washed now with like white people trying to live there.
Man,
it's also not cheap anymore.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not cheap at all compared to Thailand and Vietnam.
Yeah.
It's crazy expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, definitely. Vietnam's meant to be like the lowest cost of living index in the world.
Yeah.
Or one of. Besides like countries that you wouldn't touch.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't go live in Africa.
No.
Yeah.
Vietnam for me was
Africa,
awesome. I didn't love the food for some reason. I don't know why.
No,
and just the staring of everyone. Yeah. Everyone just stares.
Oh really?
Oh dude.
Yeah.
Like going to Japan, I'm sure your brother probably said the same, yeah?
I haven't spoken to him about it.
Bro, no one looks at you.
Yeah.
They're like robots. They
Really?
don't look, they don't speak.
Yeah.
Like think of like you've been to the footy in Australia, you go to the MCG and there's like a massive crowd. Think of that massive crowd, but it's silent.
Do you reckon it's because of your tattoos?
Yeah, to an extent. But when they see someone who's different, yes, it is. But when they see someone who's different, they're like kind of taught not to stare, not to look. But then they'll go home and be like, "Did you see that fucking tattoo?"
Oh, really?
Like, it was scary. But that's what I read anyway. And I asked a few people, and they said the same thing. They're like, "Yeah, they're kind of conditioned not to react."
Yeah.
And then they go home and talk. But
Okay.
it's a very interesting place. Like the culture was weird. The drunk guys everywhere, passed out in the doorways and shit in the morning.
Oh, really?
Seen that?
No.
Probably. It's like,
I don't know anything about Japan.
dude, so they got a businessman culture. Like they call them, what do they call them? Like salarymen, they call them. So like the businessmen go to work and then afterwards they go for dinner with the colleagues and the boss, and then they get kind of forced to drink. Yeah. And you're not allowed to say no. Yeah. So if they miss the last train, they basically just pass out in a doorway. Yeah. And they got like Suntory like zeros around them and like bottles of water that people have given them. Yeah. But you will walk through the city and no shit, you'll see like 20 every doorway is a guy passed out. And the first day I woke up, I walked outside in Okinawa and I was like, is that fucking guy passed out? Yeah. And I'm like, shit, he is. He's just laid in a doorway. Yeah. And it's very common. I had no idea that was a thing. And you don't realize they're massive alcoholics. Yeah. Like we have a big alcohol problem in Australia. It's very different there. It's like everyone's an alcoholic. They don't care. And like they're not aggressive. Yeah. It's just a culture thing. But in Australia, it's like you're an alcoholic, you're an idiot. Yeah. And you're aggressive. Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's so different. But in Japan, they got like cool 4 standard drinks, like the zero things. They're like 10% that big, $2. Yeah. So no wonder.
It's cheap there too for everything, yeah?
Most things are very, I think accommodation was a bit expensive. Yeah. Everything else was like middle of maybe Thailand and Bali, I would say. So like mid kind of. So 7-Eleven was cheap. Because
most people do say that it's relatively cheap.
That was good, yeah. I wouldn't be able to live there.
No, I don't think you could live there as a bodybuilder.
And having tattoos, bodybuilder, like...
Yeah, because even the gyms were very difficult from what James told me. James told me very little. We just haven't spoken about it. I get the impression he didn't love it. Yeah, but I don't know. Love it either. Yeah, I don't know.
Everyone does.
Yeah, he said he didn't like it.
I think Thailand is just. When I came back here, I was like, I felt relief. Yeah, I was like, oh, people are talking again. They're like, they're human.
I felt like when I came from Dubai to back to Australia, I was like, oh, it's so good to be home.
Yeah,
yeah. Which Dubai I thought I'd love Dubai, but I didn't.
I don't think I will. But then the only reason why I would go there is for tax reasons.
Yeah, but even the tax isn't that good anymore. Yeah, I've heard Hong Kong's better. Yeah. Okay. I don't know though. I don't know. I could tell you why, but I'll tell you off air. Yeah, how I know that. Yeah, interesting. It's not me. Nothing to do with me. Yeah.
There's a few options.
No, because Dubai, because I went back in 2023, and at the start, and I loved it, and I said to Izzy, we've got to go because I want to consider living there. And then after like a few days there, I was like, nah, I can't do this.
Heat as well.
No, the people were not that. There was nothing really comment on them with the people. It just seems soulless. Yeah, like soulless. You got to spend a lot of money to get by, to enjoy your life, etc. Like, 'cause I had a friend there, JP Hoon, and his apartment was like you'd go see it and you think, fuck, I would probably live here. But that makes a big difference where you're living as well. Yeah, if you've got something really nice in a big cool city like that, or a cool city like Bangkok or something, like you're gonna be more inclined to want to be there. But the weather was probably the main one. It was really fucking hot.
Can't go outside, yeah?
Couldn't go outside, no. It was like, I remember because we were in Malta, it was like 35 degrees. And I thought, this is not that bad. Like I could do, what's another 5 degrees? Yeah.
Different heat, yeah?
Oh, it's fucked.
Same as here, I was shocked. I think I told you as well. I got heat stroke like 4 times in a week, bro.
I haven't found it that bad.
I was walking a lot. I was just like, I'll get steps. I enjoy
20,000 steps a day still.
Yeah. Outside or?
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
I never do them inside.
Yeah.
Because Izzy does them on the treadmill. And I just say, I like to just go for a walk.
In Bangkok, man, you can go anywhere. You just walk for fucking hours.
3,500 steps to the gym or 3,000 steps to the gym. So 3,000 there, or maybe a little bit less. Let's say 3,000 back. 5,000-6,000 minimum. Yeah. So like that's like my steps almost done.
Yeah.
Like because you just you go out there, get some groceries. That's another 2,000-3,000. Walking around the apartment in the mornings, 2,000-3,000.
So convenient here though to get everything.
Yeah, it is.
That's what I love.
Mate, the rice, the 7-Eleven is the easiest.
The rice, the chicken.
They even cook it for you.
You don't have to cook. Yeah, I find that shocking.
Yeah,
they get it toasted like you want it in the thing. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they always ask me, do you want it heated up? And I say no, and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they're like shocked.
I'm obsessed with Thai tea, Thai milk tea.
Oh yeah.
Got to stop having them though.
Yeah. There's a lot of there's that place called I don't know how to say it. It's spelled like Mixu. Have you seen that place? MIXUE. Like Mijue or something. It's called. It's a Chinese thing. I found out the other day that it's like the biggest fast food chain in the world.
Yes, Tess posted it.
Yeah, it has more than McDonald's, has more than anything.
Yeah. Is that here?
Yeah, it's here,
I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, very like local teas and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
They cater to bodybuilders like here, I think, as well. Food stuff.
Yeah, they do obsess over bodybuilders.
Yeah, they do a little bit.
Yeah, because they always like try to sort of stop me when I'm in a singlet. Yeah, I've also noticed my skin's flared up here.
My skin got way better here.
Yeah,
really?
It's starting to get better now, but that's why I'm in a t-shirt.
Interesting.
Not because I'm in a t-shirt, but it's supposedly because Bax reckons that it could be because of the pollution.
That's the worst part about it.
Yeah, so and I sort of because I've never had acne. Yeah, so to get on my arms a little bit like I was like looking at the other day, I'm like, this is weird, like
different.
Yeah, I'm not uncomfortable with it. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But he said try a t-shirt for a few days, and I have noticed since I've been doing t-shirts that it's a little bit better.
Yeah, that's the one thing I also don't love.
Started looking after it though.
The air quality here.
Yeah, I don't really notice it, to be honest.
You notice when you leave.
Yeah.
I got off the plane in Australia and I was like, whoa.
Oh, really?
It was so different, yeah.
But if you're in the CBD in Australia, it wouldn't be too different, would it?
Nah, it is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's just like, because I'm 33 floors up, so if I look out the apartment window in the morning, sometimes I can't see.
Oh, okay.
It's like full fog.
Yeah.
And it's not actual fog, it's pollution.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then sometimes I can see the airplanes take off. So it's like completely different day to day.
The only place I've ever been where I noticed the pollution straight away was China. But I didn't go for a holiday, I just stopped there.
Okay.
And I remember getting off the plane and walking outside, and I was like, "Oh, like this is thick." Yeah.
I have like blocked nose all the time. From this, I think. Breathing's okay, but I did notice a big difference.
Well, did you know Chiang Mai's got like it's like the life expectancy goes down because of the extent of the pollution? Yeah.
Yeah, they burn off shit all the time. I'd love to live there. It's great.
Yeah.
But not for that reason.
For that reason, yeah. Because I know old Victor Black lives out there.
Yeah, he's got like a private compound and shit.
I've heard that. Yeah. It would be cool because it's so cheap, Chiang Mai.
Like I was looking the other day because I have a mate who wants to come here, and I was like, he's got a lot of money, and I'm like, dude, look what you can get for what you pay in Australia. It's like he's got like a fucking slide going into a pool and shit, and it's like $700 a week.
What, in Chiang Mai?
Yeah. You can get you get a mansion in Chiang Mai for
I've
like
never
$700
been.
to a grand a week, and you're laughing, like 5-6 bedrooms, massive mansion, clean up.
And I'm assuming there's the reason that people don't want to live there is because of what we just mentioned.
Yeah, it's also a little bit out of the way, I guess.
Yeah.
Good gyms there. There's a couple good gyms there.
Yeah, they got Muscle Factory too. No, they don't.
They got they got one similar. It's called Muscular Lair.
Yeah.
That's a good gym. And there's one like south in like a local area. It's called Hangdong.
Yeah.
It's like quite popular, very, very cheap. Very good gym there.
Yeah. Because I feel like
it's the pollution.
Here could definitely consolidate itself as like a bodybuilding hub of the world, but there's not really a bodybuilding hub of the world at the moment anyway.
They're trying to do it with this gym, kind of. They're really pushing.
Unreal.
It was very different.
Yeah,
like 6 months ago, 12 months
ago. They're going to need more room, though.
The whole time. They're taking another level, I think.
Oh, they are? Cool. Yeah.
They'll do another level. They kind of need they need a co-working space here. Everyone's a coach.
Yeah, co-working space would be cool.
I would love for them to have a co-working space.
There's no saunas in there either.
They'll do that too.
Yeah, okay.
Sauna, ice bath, I think upstairs. They ended up kicking out the CrossFit place upstairs.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because we got the Muay Thai upstairs.
Yeah, they'll link, but then, they'll do a couple other things. Got more equipment coming.
Yeah, because you
posing room's nice.
You got England for a bodybuilding hub, but it's just so spread out and big and cold and expensive.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to live there or anything.
No, me either. Yeah, just not my... I went last year and...
But you find here, like, everyone just comes here. Like, I've seen Callum Volmerga here, he lives here. Seen Brion.
Does Callum Volmerga live here?
Yeah, he lives here.
Okay, yeah.
He co-owns the gym.
Co-owns the gym?
Yeah, he's like part owner, investor,
Never goes there, though.
No, he does sometimes.
Yeah.
You'll see Vigorous Steve there sometimes.
Yeah, you said that. I was looking forward to that run-in.
Yeah, Brion was there like a few weeks ago. People just kind of stop off here, I think. You see a lot of famous people here. It's cool.
It's easy little stopover too. Yeah. And like we've got like I said to you off air before, like you got that proximity for show travel and stuff as well. If you are someone who's looking to compete in pro qualifiers or pro shows. Yeah, because it's just central.
A few Thailand shows, always men's physique Thailand.
Yeah, always men's physique. Yeah, because we wanted to come for that, but mistimed it.
Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
This one at the end of the year.
I think so. Yeah, the Pattaya at the end of the year. I think.
Yeah, that's an interesting place.
Yeah, no, I haven't been.
Yeah,
I said to you I wanted to go.
Well, Baxter and Maddie went there, and then they started posting like, "It's not very good," because it's sex tourism everywhere. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, apparently you can avoid it.
It's very. I think it's very hard to.
Yeah,
you can, but you just got to kind of not look.
Yeah,
just ignore it.
Yeah, no.
Which I even find hard here. The first time I came here, I stayed in the middle of the red light district.
Yeah.
Like Nana.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I walk out and there's like 100 African girls.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. Where am I? And then I realized in like 5 minutes, I'm like, oh, fuck, that's crazy.
I haven't noticed too much of it, but the longer I've been here, the more I've started to notice it.
In your area is a bit.
Yeah, there is. It's in the alleys though.
Yeah, it's more Asok and like between Asok and Siam kind of. That whole area.
Don't quote me on
Nana,
Don't quote me on the geography of it.
Couple of stations away from me. Like literally you go one station is like prostitutes everywhere.
Yeah, no, definitely. I noticed it last night because I went down some alleyway because there was some like bakery, like some little Chinese bakery or something, and they were everywhere. And I was like, so this is where they all are.
It's just so different. Like I've never seen it in Australia, and I came here and I was like, it's just so on display, and it's still illegal.
Yeah.
And then even half of them are not meant to be in the country.
Yeah.
It's just like money is everything here.
Yeah.
You see them talking to the cops in the alleyways, giving money. It's very interesting. Yeah. It's not very unorthodox compared to what I'm used to.
I've been arrested in Phuket before.
Really?
Yeah, for pissing on the street.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, straight away. And I wasn't even pissing, it was my friend pissing. I was just there, drunk. This is a long time ago. And I was just scrolling on my phone, and then they just started chasing me and arrested me, put me in cuffs, tried to get me in the car, and then I started yelling, I'll pay. Gave him like 1,000 baht, 2,000 baht, and I was like, get out of here. Yeah. And I was like, it was scary as fuck.
Yeah.
I didn't really have much going through my head at the time, but it ruined the next 2 days. Yeah. Because I was like paranoid.
I haven't had that yet. I've been searched on the back of a bike before.
Really?
And you get a lot going down Sukhumvit Road,
Yeah.
certain spots, because they're looking for vapes and shit, which is crazy.
Oh, really?
And I remember when you came here, asked for a vape, and I had a mate, a client actually, he was in Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
And he was doing like a Muay Thai rehab kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then he messaged me overnight once, like, bro, can you please get a vape in Chiang Mai? And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, why? And he's like, they banned them overnight, and they're gone, completely gone.
Yeah.
No one could get them. But they're looking for them now. I don't know why.
Yeah,
they just target certain things. It's a very weird government. Political, I guess. They just kind of go hard with one thing. Yeah. Get rid of it. Go to the next one.
So kids, vapes is a thing at the moment.
Yeah, kids and helmets, but vapes and helmets at the moment. So
I don't think I've ever been given a helmet on the back of a bike.
If I see one, I'll always ask.
Yeah, but they're not going to give you one. No one wears them.
They normally do. Yeah. Grab wheel and bolt wheel most of the time.
Yeah.
They're meant to have them. So they have them in their thing, like in the seat.
Yeah.
Or they've got them hanging there.
Yeah.
For me, like, I would 100% rather wear one. Yeah. I've seen in Songkran, do you know the water fight thing?
Yeah.
Kids flying off bikes through the fucking air. Like, it's crazy, bro. It scared the shit out of me. I was like,
shit.
I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
And just like, if you live here for a few months, you're like, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
But you just got to be careful, I guess. Like, I was going, even here, I was on a bike. It was like a 20-minute ride. Yeah. There was 2 buses. Yeah. And I'm like this, like wide. And the guy goes to go through the middle of buses. And I'm like, and it's hot and shit.
I had my laptop in my hand on the way here.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's a little bit risky, but it's enjoyable. Like, I think this is the way life's meant to be lived.
Yeah, I think so
too. Jump on the back of a bike, go get some food.
Well, that's what Rick said with Bali when I first went there. He said you should still have leisure in every day.
Yeah, you should.
Whereas at home, you're so consolidated to like routine that like at night, like me and Izzy, we don't have to do anything at night at home. You can't. On a weeknight. Occasionally we'll walk up the street and get like maybe an ice cream. Yeah. Or like a meal if we really feeling like it.
One thing I noticed though here is like the difference between here and Australia is like here or in Australia we like finish work, we go home, we get ready for the next day. Yeah, we go to work again. Yeah. Here it's like you finish work and you're like, what can we do until fucking midnight?
Yeah, like literally like today I'm like, I'm gonna be finished after this podcast. Is he going to be training? What can we do tonight? Yeah. And I'm like, I need some new clothes. So.
There's so much cool shit to do here. Yeah. And you can always find something, and shopping centers are the best here, and they're open till 10 every day. Even in Japan, everyone says Tokyo is the best shopping in the world. It was terrible. There was cool, interesting stuff, like very unique and different. Yeah. But the actual shopping centers themselves, I'm like, Thailand's way better. Bangkok is like next level. Yeah. You get anything here. Have you been shopping yet or not?
I'm not a shopper, but we have been.
Neither
yeah, I've never really enjoyed shopping. Yeah.
I don't know what to buy, bro.
I sort of just walk in, buy the same stuff every time and walk out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been keen to go to a supplement store because I want to get pregnant alone.
There's not. Oh, I know somewhere has it maybe.
Yeah, because I know that's legal here and it's not legal. It's legal everywhere in the world except Australia.
Hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, DHEA as well.
Yeah, DHEA too. Yeah. Because we've wanted to bring that in just for the cognitive benefits for a while.
Yeah.
But it's you can buy it in Australia online. It just comes. There's only like 2 websites that sell it, but you just wonder if it's going to come through.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can do it with Yohimbine as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can buy it domestically. It's just it's not marketed as Yohimbine.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense really. Yeah.
So they went hard with the peptide thing again, I think, recently. Like shutting down all the peptide sites.
I'm not too sure. Yeah. They make it very difficult.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. But
I do think like BPC and TB 500 will be legalized eventually.
They have to.
Yeah.
You use them a lot with clients?
Yes.
It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, they're miracles. Yeah.
Yeah. I want my mum to use it because of her stuff. Like she got rheumatoid arthritis and like 10 inflammatory conditions, but she's so worried to use anything that's illegal or grey area. And I'm like, you've tried everything. You've tried like heavy painkillers, endone, everything every day. Just let me give you this little injection. You already take injections.
Yeah, but even then, I can't recognize any drawback in data around either of those.
I don't think so.
Whatsoever. Yeah, so for me, the experience that I had with BPC 157 was for the hernia surgery was exceptional. Yeah, so like that was when I was like, yeah, I'm over the line with this. Like I believe that this genuinely does this thing, but just so hard to get at the moment. Unless you can go through certain prescription providers.
Very expensive.
Yeah, they are very expensive. Yeah.
Have you referred clients to like TRT clinics?
Not recently, but I have before. Man. Yeah, they're expensive as fuck.
They're so expensive.
I did a TRT clinic. For a while, I had the prescription, but then the company got closed down.
Yeah, a lot of them did.
Yeah. Because I only got it because
when
I traveled to Europe, I got it. Yeah, and I took it with me, but then when I got there, it was so easy to get that it didn't even matter. But I didn't know that leading into it.
That's what I kind of tell everyone. They're like, "What do I do?" And I'm like, "Just go to the gym, man." And
you just got to be there long enough, though.
Yeah,
man. I walked into a gym in Spain, and I said, "I need Mastron," and he said, "Come back at 3." And I said, "Okay, sweet." And he ripped me off, but I didn't care. Yeah, like it was that easy. I remember I had to put in the translator to say, "Hey, this is this is what I want," and he's like, "Yeah." 3 o'clock. And then I'm like, all right, am I going to get arrested at 3 o'clock? Or
yeah, dude.
Yeah, because Spain's a little bit strict, so they were really like secretive about it.
Okay. Yeah, here they don't care, do they?
I don't think so.
They do not care.
Yeah.
There's a few things they do. The chemist lady's like, can't do that one, can't do that one.
Yeah.
And they just send it as something else.
Oh, really?
She'll send like a box of something in like a Panadol box or something, and you're like, okay. Yeah. There's only a few things they worry about.
But you can't get testosterone into a normal clinic here, can you?
You can get it in a pharmacy.
In normal pharmacy, you
can just walk in and say photo, and you get. And I was using that when I first moved here, and they hurt like fuck, bro. Yeah. Like I don't like using amps, but also cottonseed oil or whatever it is. Yeah. So thick.
Was it Bayer?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I've used that before.
Just too thick for me. And you know me with that stuff.
Yeah, it's thick. I remember it's thick because it's very hard to draw.
Yeah, very hard to draw, very hard to push through as well.
Yeah.
Then it's new stuff. It's like, so smooth.
Yeah. The only good thing that comes with that is you recognize that it's not going to cause any issues around like C-reactive protein or anything like that. And you know that it's sterile. Yeah. So when I was previously using TRT, like in cruise phase, I'd always just go to a Bayer when I had that available. Just because obviously I'm trying to do everything right. So it's like I want to be dosing at 100%. But then eventually just availability became too difficult. But it's very, very hard because people don't recognize like the oils are not made in laboratories. Like even when you get like pills of like clenbuterol or anything like that, let's say thyroid hormone even, like if it's not pharmaceutical, there's no pharmaceutical clen, but if that pharmaceutical thyroid hormone, these guys can't press into micrograms.
Do you know how hard it is to dose?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Is so hard to dose.
That's why people,
knowing the people, I know people that do this. Yeah. They're not very smart, some of them.
No.
And you're like, how the fuck are you dosing that? Yeah. And that's why I really don't, I don't trust any underground AI. I never get anyone to use underground AI anymore, even PCT stuff. But same thing with thyroid and Clen, I'd normally go liquid.
Yeah, Clen liquid. Yeah,
because I'm like, I do not trust that person because you can easily, instead of micrograms, go milligrams. Yeah, and destroy someone. So
well, with Clen, I'm sure people, anyone listening, you might notice is sometimes you get a clenbuterol batch if you're using tabs. One tab you'll feel nothing, and then the next tab you're off your head. Same as batch to batch. Yeah, and just because they can't press it into a pill. They're not chemists.
No.
Yeah, and when your dosages are that low, like so that minuscule micrograms, like you can't get that right. Yeah, but thyroid's even worse because people try to replace their thyroid with UGL, and like that's just
it's
stupid.
Too up and down.
Yeah, that's why I do liquid, but even liquid I don't trust for thyroid. Thyroid's a hard one because it's such an important axis, and if it's off, everything's off. With Clen, it's like you're just going to be a little bit more wired or a little bit less wired and a little bit less of a metabolic raise, but thyroid, you could just fuck up everything. Yeah.
It's interesting though, seeing people's responses to using certain compounds, and then you're like, there's no way that's what it says on the label.
Yeah. No.
And they're like, I didn't like Primo. I'm like, it wasn't Primo.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't Primo. It's like it was either Test or Mastron.
Yeah.
And even then now, I don't even think you can get Mastron much anymore.
I've noticed even the last few weeks, everyone's like, why do I have acne? Why do I have this? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. Let's get bloods. But everything's changed in the last few months since the Primos kind of disappeared.
Yeah, it was a China issue, right?
I'm guessing so, yeah. But it's worldwide, except here is okay.
Yeah.
It seems to be okay. But everyone else is freaking out.
I think it's just like Western countries. Because like I can't imagine Dubai and England to be problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
easy,
England's
really in Dubai, not hard to source.
No. It's like Uber. Yeah. Very strange.
Vietnam was like that. You can order anything on Uber.
Yeah.
On Grab. Like
it's literally in Dubai. Like it's weird saying this on podcasts. It's literally you message a guy a number and then the Grab driver drops it off like 20 minutes later. Yeah, and he's paying cash.
It's the same as the lady here. She's so nice as well. Yeah, she's the nicest lady.
In Dubai, I was like, this can't be this easy. And it was. And you just send him anything you want, and it's there.
It's interesting.
Yeah, and like literally 20 minutes cash. Yeah, like they'll come at 10 o'clock at night. They'll come at 1 a.m. They'll come at 7 a.m. Whatever you want. Yeah. And it was just like, I remember I said to JP, I'm like, is this fine? He's like, just don't, like, no one cares.
Don't question it.
He's like, if the police would want to know where you got it if they found out. Yeah, like no one cares. And it's like so weird because it's the Middle East.
Yeah, but even here it's like, it's grey area legal, but you don't see heaps of jack dudes running around or people dying from it.
You don't see any real jack dudes.
You don't see anyone, no.
Yeah.
Really you don't. You will in the next few weeks maybe from holidays in Australia and stuff like that. But one thing I actually noticed living here, I haven't seen many Aussies.
Yeah, you don't see many Aussies. We have noticed that as well.
Crazy.
Every Aussie that I've seen actually already knew.
Yeah.
It's been like, oh, I know you from like Instagram. Yeah. And it's like someone who semi-lives here.
Yeah.
But I think that gym as well is most of the people that live here.
Most people live here. You notice that gym is the opposite to every other gym, busy hours-wise. Yeah. Because everyone's a coach. So they all train during the day. Yeah. Nighttime's empty.
It's never busy though.
Not really. Yeah. Sometimes a little bit, but not like, not like Aussie gyms.
Worst case, the worst day I had yesterday was, yesterday. I needed to see the leg curl and couldn't get on it, and I was like,
that's light, that leg curl.
Yeah,
so light,
very very light. And I've also got an issue with my adductors at the moment, so like the laying was difficult. I strained it walking. I don't know how, man. Walking up ramps. Yeah. And now it's just like even sitting here, every time I move my legs, I can feel it. The only reason I know it's the adductor is because I raised it with backs, and I was like, "What do you reckon this is?" And he said, "Yeah, that's what it is." And I'm just like, I don't know how I did it. Like it has to. The only thing I can think of is I was walking up ramps on Saturday, but I'm like, Saturday is Thursday today. Like surely.
Yeah, he's a very good physio.
Yeah, that's why I thought awesome, that he would know what he's talking about. Yeah, because it's hard to find allied health professionals who
know anything about training really. At all. But he's so confident in what he does, and that's what makes him even better. He's like, even me, I think me and you, same thing. It's like the confidence that you portray is like, if it's real, it works, man. Like you have to be confident in what you do. He's very confident that he's right about most things.
Yeah, I know he is. I also said to one of the boys today, one of my clients asked me, like, have you got any tips for selling? And I said, look, I don't even do my own selling. I'm like, but if you're confident in what you offer, and you're confident in the price point and everything else that comes with that, I'm like, there's going to be no issues with selling because people will smell it. Number one. Number two, it's so much easier for you to object or rebuttal because you are confident that your value is there. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I even said to the boys the other day, because they were like, we're just going over some sales stuff, and I said, for what we're charging you guys out at, like, it's cheap enough that they're not coming into the call expecting it to be immensely less than that. So never take price as a objection. If they've said no because of price, because they don't think that there's enough value. I know it sounds so cliche to say that, but like no one's jumping on a call expecting coaching to be less than $80 a week.
Not anymore. I think
no way.
Minimum.
Because they charge 99. Like best case scenario, they're going to think it's going to be like 80. I'm like, and $19 is not breaking anyone's bank account. If they really want to do it.
I agree.
So even when people complain about, I'm sure you get this too, when people say I want to stop for financials, it's like, tell me the real reason.
It's normally not. Majority, like 90% of the time, it's not. And I don't take offense to it, but it's like,
but you can't rebut that.
So
that's why they use it. But it's like, tell me the real reason. Occasionally it is, but usually you know because there's been a lead up to that moment. You
kind of expected a little bit.
They've mentioned it before.
They dropped off slightly with check-ins.
Usually the clients will mention to me, I just had some financial stresses, and then slowly but surely they start to say, hey, look, I'm going to need to whack it on hold for a bit. But when it just comes out of nowhere, it's like, no. Because even like I've wrapped up with like subscriptions before and thought, oh, now I'm saving X amount per week, and it's like probably just going to spend it somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah, literally. And that's even the argument, like with the sales thing, is like, you're spending that anyway on Uber Eats most of the time. Like, majority of people, 2 Uber Eats orders is $100.
Yeah.
Like, and then all doing it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Some weeks after show we'll spend like $300-400 a week on food, like eating out.
Crazy.
One week I spent so much, I'm not going to tell you what it was, that I said to Izzy, we can't do this again this week. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I have to pay myself extra out of the company because I can't make it to the end of the month. Yeah. And she's like, how much did we spend? And I'm like, this. And she's like, no.
But here
and then I broke it all down, and she was like, oh shit. Like, we spent, it was like $500.
Uber in Australia is disgustingly expensive.
Yeah, and they always charge more on the Uber menus.
Yeah, and here you notice, like, it's way faster. It's the same price pretty much. They put maybe a little bit on. But it comes like instantly, and it's hot. And you're like, how the fuck is it still hot? The guy's been running on a bike.
Oh, the chicken breast came in like fucking 15 minutes the other day.
Are you getting it from Clean With Me or whatever?
No, I can't remember what it's called.
Clean With Me is like a little house. There's no
Nah, it's not that. I'll tell you right now.
It's a really good place. There's
Shout
also
out
mustard.
for anyone. Grain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not the best chicken in the world, but
is it like in that sous vide thing there?
Yeah, but it tastes a little bit like deli-ish.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, it works.
Yeah.
It's pre-made.
It does a job.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, we stuck to none of the run sheet, bro.
Doesn't matter. We've done anyway. Shit.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was just like, I was going to look up the time, like an hour and 12.
That's why I said we should do more.
Well, thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll do another one.
Yeah, we will do another one.
Yeah. I'm going to do a podcast anyway in the future. Yeah. I think. Just.
Oh, you are?
In here,
yeah.
Or we'll make one.
I'm just hoping we can get some nice little reels out of that one, but
we'll
probably mostly talking about
Bangkok.
Bangkok.
You'll get a few.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah, should be right.
Well, thank you, bro.
All right. Thank you. See you soon.
We'll just